It is a wonderful morning, isn't it?
1912 hasn't had such great weather in a while.
So, starting off the news and stuff that matter to us today, we will be discussing former President William Howard Taft and his many opportunities as president, and how he deemed himself to be a very welcoming personality in the beginning.
Yeah, when I met him the other day, he seemed like such a great guy.
He really seemed to adopt an attitude of passivity towards Congress, but seemed to be a poor judge of public opinion.
Yeah, well, that's because he's suffering some political handicaps in the past couple of years, like his dollar diplomacy, his 90 lawsuits against trust, and even when he betrayed the progressive members of his party.
Those lawsuits got a lot of hype, especially when the court passed the rule of reason at the same time as when Taft ordered the Standard Oil Company to be violating the Sherman Antitrust Act.
Oh yeah, I heard they restrained an abundant trade.
Yup, so when the rule of reason was passed, it made a claim that only unreasonable restrained trade were illegal.
So how would Congress know what was unreasonable and what was reasonable?
Exactly.
2 years ago, in 1909, we found out that Taft betrayed his progressive members in his party by supporting the conservative ones by creating a large tariff.
I remember that. The only thing I didn't get taxed on was birdseed.
I'm with you there.
The tariff was finalized in Payne-Aldrich bill.
With even more to add to this, he established the Bureau of Mines, which was favored by conservative members due to its helping of Mother Nature.
Although he was saving land, many overlooked this because of the Pinchot-Bollinger debate.
Oh gosh, that was the craziest thing to happen since the Charles Sumner and Preston Brooks incident.
Right? For all that need a refresher on this monumental incident, it was when Gifford Pinchot found out that Bollinger took out a series of no-bid contracts. And he went to go tell Taft. This caused an argument between Taft and Pinchot, ending in Pinchot's being fired. This debate sparked much trouble within the Republican Party, causing it to split in half.
They became known as the Republican Party and the Bull Moose Party.
Yes. Yes, with all the trouble came a new year, and here we are in 1912 watching our candidates work to get votes from the people and the Electoral College.
So now, in the election between our candidates, we can tell this is going to be a good race.
It seems as though bets are on Wilson and Roosevelt.
Yeah, definitely. Roosevelt proposes a lot of government regulation and bashes fellow opponent Wilson.
In Wilson's retaliation, we discuss how he lived in a free land and it should stay that way so people can work to be wealthy.
Well, Roosevelt's new nationalism was a form of progressivism that focused on a lot more than government involvement.
Wilson's new freedom, on the other hand, focused on how people should be able to work for what they want, especially when he said America wasn't created to be under a master.
However, these men agreed on government's roles and economic and social issues, but they had different strategies on how to do it.
This just in!
The polls are in, and it seems Wilson is the President of the United States of America with 435 electoral votes.
This is great!
Alright, well, while we go celebrate, we'll be going to commercial.
Thank you, America, for tuning in to the Apush special election coverage of 1912.
Tune in next to see future news on how Obama mixed Roosevelt's speech in Osawatomie, Kansas.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Jamila Sleeman with Apush News, and I'm here to talk about the similarities between Roosevelt's speech in 1910 and Obama's speech in 2011, both in Osawatomie, Kansas. With 100 years difference, you'd think there shouldn't be any similarities, right? Wrong. There has been a lot of skepticism on how close their speeches were. Coincidence? I think not. If we take a look at Obama's speech and Roosevelt's speech, we find that they both discuss similar strategies of economic prosperity for our country. Roosevelt discusses a reform plan known as the Square Deal, which coincides with Obama's take on the new health care plan. They both discuss a stronger government which controls the economy and making government organizations to make public dependent on the government. Thank you for listening to my take on the speeches similarities in Osawatomie, Kansas. And up next, my colleague Heba with what really happened to the Republican Party. Thank you.
I'm Heba with Apush News, and I'm going to be telling you why the Republican Party split. Some background to it is how Roosevelt was president until 1909. When he left office, Roosevelt chose Taft as the Republican candidate to carry out his policies. However, Taft ended up supporting the conservative members of his party, passing things like the Payne-Aldrich bill, angering Teddy Roosevelt and his progressive supporters, which was not a smart move. Now, in 1912, Roosevelt put his name forward to become the Republican Party's nominee. However, most of them stood with Taft which caused more tension and ended in the making of the Bull Moose Party. The Bull Moose Party stood for progressive beliefs, including women's suffrage, social welfare assistance, farm relief, revisions in banking, health insurance, and workers' compensation. The party also wanted an easier method to amend the Constitution. However, the Bull Moose Party did not start on the right foot and did not end on the right foot. This election not only caused the split of the leaders, but Party 2, allowing the Democrat Woodrow Wilson to win the election. Have a nice day, and thanks for watching Apush News.
Good morning, America! It blacked out. Why? Election coverage of 1912. Come on, we're on the left.
Good morning, America.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's calling me. Horrible. Don't go on.